Hi, this is Megan Orlando. This is my Module 17, my data analysis protocol. I created this that could be used with the staff in my building to analyze data. One of the questions we had to consider was how would teachers react to being given a protocol to help with their data dialogue and discussion. I think initially this would kind of turn some of the teachers at my building off because it just looks like more work to them. But I think if they got walked through it and saw how it actually benefits them in how to look at data, what data to look at, what questions to be asking, that they would actually end up being receptive to it. Another question was, how can your protocol be adapted to work with different subjects and groups of people? As I walk through, you'll be able to see that this is not specific to academics or some specific subject, so it really could be used for any group of teachers. It could be used for behavior or academics, so it's really friendly to all of that. So looking at my data analysis protocol, it's really asking, how do we look at data? Our first steps would be to ask ourselves a few questions. Who are we? What are we looking for? And where are we right now? Under who are we, teachers would need to consider who are our students? What are their strengths and needs? Under what are we looking for, we'd be asking what data should we look at to find what we're looking for? And where are we right now? We'd want to ask ourselves, where are our students performing and how is our school performing? So for example, in my building, we might use AIMSweb Plus. That might be the data that we're looking at to look for academic progress. And we'd be looking at how our students are performing on those. And this would allow for teachers to kind of answer these questions on their own before discussing with others. In the next steps, our questions are, where would we like to be and what is the data showing? When we ask ourselves where would we like to be, we'd ask ourselves, what are our goals? And at our school, our goal with AIMSweb Plus is to have 80% of our students scoring in the Tier 1. So I put that on there. And then we can ask ourselves, what is the data showing? This is where teachers would be encouraged to first look through the data and note what stands out to them right away. Once they've done that, they can make inferences. What is the data telling them? And I think it's important here that teachers remember that they need to look for things they can celebrate, not just the concerns. So what can we celebrate and what concerns need to be addressed? And then any concluding thoughts. And then in the final steps, they have a few big questions to answer on their own and then with others. What gaps do we see between where we are and where we would like to be? How can we close those gaps? And what will implementation look like when we work on closing those gaps? And then once we've finished this entire process, it's still important to ask, how do we ensure continuous improvement? So how do we keep going back and analyzing data and making sure that we are improving? And that is my data analysis protocol.